Hello, and welcome back to your fourth video. This is going to be an overview of design thinking. I hope that you got on well with the phone box challenge, and that one is really all about trying to see the world with fresh eyes, seeing opportunities where maybe you otherwise wouldn't, asking questions like why not, what if, what else, what could be, what is possible. So now we're going to move into this fourth video. As I said, an overview of design thinking. This is a process, a framework that I'm going to be suggesting that you use to help develop your own ideas that you're working on for the Ideas Academy. So to begin, I'm going to set you a little question and just ask that you spend 20 seconds or so thinking about this. And I'm going to ask that we want to design a better toothbrush for a toddler. You can write down any ideas that you have, any thoughts that you have, and take about 15 or 20 seconds to do so. Okay, so I'm guessing when I set that problem, set that challenge, design a better toothbrush for a toddler, you jump straight into solutions. I'm brainstorming, that ideation, coming up with ideas. Things like, it could play music, it should play music. Can it be colorful? It should be small. All potentially very good ideas. And it does seem to make sense, right? Toddlers are smaller than us adults are. They have smaller hands, so should probably make their toothbrush smaller. And for many, many years, this is exactly what the toothbrush manufacturers did. You can see the advert here, 3 different sizes of toothbrush for 3 different sizes of humans. But many years ago, several decades ago, Oral-B thought, there might be a better toothbrush. I think there might be a better possibility here. So they went to a design firm, basically said what I asked you. We want to design a better toothbrush for a toddler. What that design firm did was use a process, the framework called design thinking. With design thinking, instead of starting with solutions through ideation or brainstorming, you instead begin with the processes of empathy and defining. Together, these are intended to give you a better understanding of the user and their needs of the general problem area before you think of possible solutions. So what happened when the design firm, as tasked by Oral-B, set about to try and design a better toothbrush for a toddler? Well, they spent hours and hours observing toddlers trying to brush their teeth. They spoke to the toddlers, they interviewed the parents, but that piece where they spent hours and hours trying to observe, make observations of toddlers trying to brush their teeth was key. And their aha moment was that toddlers aren't just scaled down versions of adult humans. They can be a little bit clumsy. They have chubby little hands that are less dexterous than ours are as adults. And what they saw was toddlers trying to hold these kind of just scaled down versions of adult toothbrushes was that the toddlers were dropping them onto the dirty bathroom floor, or some of them were holding the handle up very close to the bristles, and they were getting toothpaste all over their face and all over their hands, and it was a mess. That scaled down version of an adult-sized toothbrush was not working out for the toddlers, or probably for their parents. And what this led the design firm to propose to Oral-B was an entirely new kind of toothbrush. You can see here, it had a much broader handle that was easy for those tiny, chubby, sort of clumsy little hands to hold on to. And of course, nowadays, it's really the only kind of toothbrush that you can see on the market. So design thinking is a framework that can be used to solve problems. Its structured approach provides a methodology for developing solutions that meet the needs of those we are designing for. And inherent to the function and overall purpose of design thinking is to create a better tomorrow. So of course, it'll be a good one for you all to be using. And again, as I was saying, that sort of insight from the design firm, that aha moment where they said, you know what? Toddlers are kind of different in some ways to adult humans. They're dropping the toothbrushes on the floor. They're getting toothpaste everywhere. We think we could do something better. How might we design a toothbrush that's easier for a toddler to hold? And this was the result. So again, that ideation piece, the solutions, the coming up with different ideas is only one part of the design thinking process. The design thinking process begins with empathy. That's that understanding piece. You might make observations, conduct interviews, do some research. Once you've done that, once you've gotten tons of information and insights, you focus in and define a specific problem to be solved, maybe focusing on a certain type of person, type of user, and their specific need. Once you've done that, once you've got a really good sense of what the actual problem is, that very focused need, you brainstorm, you come up with solutions to that specific problem. Once you've done that, you try to make a prototype. How can you test this? How could you show this? How could you get feedback on what you're thinking is maybe a good solution to progress with? Very generally speaking, broad overview, that's what design thinking is all about. The reality, that image I showed it nice and linear, straight through. The reality is that design thinking is a cyclical process. You'll be going in and out, back and forth from empathy to define, to ideate, back to empathy, back to define, back to empathy. It's very much an iterative process. You're learning the whole time. You're always staying as close to your user, that person or group of people that you're designing for throughout the whole process. This is another nice visualization of design thinking. You can see you start with empathy, you go big. Again, it's like throwing out a fishing net and you're trying to get as much information, as many insights as you can in relation to your problem area. Once you've done that, you focus in on a specific, very specific problem to be solved. You're not trying to change everything all in one go. You're focusing in on a very specific problem to be solved. Once you've identified that, you go big again. You come up with lots of solutions, lots of different ideas. Again, like we did with the phone box, no bad ideas in this stage. Then you focus and you think, okay, which of these might we progress with? What parameters are we working within? What might we want to prototype in order to test, in order to get feedback? So again, very quick overview of design thinking. And through this video and the next video with me, these two modules will be exploring this design thinking process through a hands-on challenge. For now, I think it might be helpful if you get, again, just a little bit more of a sense about what this design thinking process is all about. So in Docent, there's going to be a video for you to watch. It's about 10 minutes long, and it showcases the design firm IDEO working through a design challenge. They're trying to design a better shopping cart. They have been tasked with designing a better shopping cart, and you can see them go through step by step the empathy, define, ideate, prototype, and test. What I'd like you to look out for in this video, I'd like you to keep an eye out for how they learn about needs and problems to be solved. So how do they embrace and engage in that empathy process? I'd also like you to keep an eye out for how they work together as a team. So think about the different people who are working there, how they work together, how they support one another, what kinds of experience they have, what kinds of knowledge they have, and how they all put that together. I'd also like you to keep an eye out for anything in particular that surprises you, maybe that intrigues you about how they use and apply this process of design thinking. Finally, I'd like you to keep an eye out, maybe an ear out, for the bell. So ding, ding, you'll see it coming up once or twice in the video. I'd like you to keep an eye out, an ear out for the bell, and think about why they are using it, how they are using it, and how it helps them, how it supports them in this overall process. So I hope you enjoy the video. It's a good watch, and I'll look forward to hearing your reflections on it. Enjoy.